I'm Bree Chapin. I paint and I glue shit to other shit. I was born in Long Branch, New Jersey in 1984. I think I've just always had to. I say I paint to keep from screaming, and I think that's what inspires my art, is this sense of ambient anxiety and just this all of the crazy things that are going on in the world and my attempt to deal with them. Part of the reason I communicate visually, I think, is because I kind of suck at words and I'm not articulate. I tend to ramble. I'm very good at filling the space with words, but I don't think I ever actually get to the point. And I think when I make things, that to me feels like getting closer to the point than when I try to talk or write. I have this romantic idea of this monastic experience of art school that I think probably is a little overly romanticized. So I wish I'd studied more art in school. I actually went to an engineering high school. And then when I went for college, I went for languages. But I think I've always kind of circled the drain of actually focusing on fine art. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do design, or okay, I'm gonna do engineering. But I think I wish I had studied art in a formal way. I've taken a lot of classes. The internet has been a great teacher, especially for the technical stuff. Without YouTube videos, I would have no idea how to make any of this stuff. I love all the pop artists. I love, Andy Warhol's work. I love Evelyn Axel, Pauline Brody. It's kind of in your face and not subtle in a lot of ways, where it's like, here's this woman who jumped out of a window and died and killed herself, but here's a photo of her and it's beautiful in a creepy kind of way. Or here's Marilyn Monroe's publicity shot after she died, and I'm just gonna keep making copies of it because she was a commodified person. I was trying to answer this question, and I started making a list that was like super long, but I think one of the more well-known artists that I'm really into is Yue Minjun, and he just, if you know his work, he does these ridiculously terrifying smiling faces and bombs and skulls. And I don't think I was always thinking of his work while I was creating, but it clearly was bouncing somewhere in the back of my brain. And there's a lot of artists in our community that I genuinely am obsessed with. Like Anka's work, Kat Dactyl, I love her work, and I love John DeLeo's work, and Hannah Whitner. Everybody in our community, when I say I fucking love your work, I mean it. Obviously I love David Vega's photos because I'm obsessed with old school New York. I have a day job. I work in tech. I wake up pretty early, do health related things, and I drink my coffee, and after a few hours I start to remember who I am and where I am. I do my work day. And if I have the mental energy at the end of the night, I just love to fucking regurgitate what's in the back of my head that's been building up, like some sort of static in my brain. And usually that comes out in the form of painting or drawing or just gluing shit together. I glue a lot of shit together. I think that's called mixed media. Working in design, I think I've found to be somewhat detrimental to my artistic practice, because I feel like I spend a lot of time solving problems and being very creative. And then at the end of the night, the last thing I want to do is try to solve problems and be creative and think about these things. I think now that I've moved into management, I feel a little bit more like I have more time and creativity at the end of the day than when I was pushing pixels. I have an Instagram, Bree Makes Art. BREE, just in case you were looking for the cheese. Cheese might make art, I don't judge. Oh, BreeMakesArt.com is my website, but the Instagram is definitely where I put a lot of my where I update more frequently. It's kind of like DJing at a party. And I really like the process, and I really like celebrating artists that I know are amazing people and I genuinely love their work. If given the opportunity, I would love to do tons of that, because I think there are people who are incredibly talented, more talented than me, and do things that I like better than what I do. And I would love for other people to see them potentially together, you know, like, and be like, these are the cool people that you need to see. Really, like, the community was a huge part of it for me. And I found that community. I started out at Con Artist many years ago, and when that community sort of went in different directions, I wanted to follow one of the directions, which was Solas Studios. And I really enjoyed working with the people here. You know, I love the membership do as you can use thing. I think that's really rad. The business talks have been really helpful. The drawing sessions have been great. Crit Club is sort of my budget art school. All art is political. I am trying to contextualize questions, I think. I'm trying to pose questions to people through my work without always answering them potentially, but I think that's what I'm trying to do.